Hi there, and welcome back to the channel. This is Dr. Josya, board certified family medicine physician and love and dating coach, focusing on health, wellness, and relationships. All right. And I tend to say I focus on high achieving women, but honestly, there are some guys who come to the channel too. And I think that's great. I think it's great that the guys are listening to this stuff because I've had some women say, well, why aren't you talking to the men? I mean, they do have plenty of coaches and mentors who are talking to them, men talking to men, and even women out there. But yeah, I think the information is going to be helpful for either one of you. There's going to be some things that are unique to women and our feminine energy. But if you're a guy listening to this, feel free to shout out in the comments or send me an email if you don't want to be put out there. But then again, if you're in the comments and another lady sees you and knows you're available, hey, there might be a connection right there happening on YouTube or wherever you're listening to this podcast. So today, what I want to talk about is how your thoughts can keep you single. And I know anytime, and I know this is an ex-single, anytime I would hear someone say that I was responsible for my singleness, I would get mad. I would get defensive. You're probably not even listening to me right now. That's okay. But I want you to get past that initial emotion, that initial visceral reaction you had when I said that. And I know you're reacting that way because you're like, well, it's not up to me. There's pee in the dating pool. The guys aren't coming to me. Or the ones that come, they're not of good quality. And flip it around if you're a guy about the women. I know. I said all the same things. Okay? But here's the truth. There are 8 billion people on this planet. And if you're living in the United States of America, where most people are who are listening to this, there are several hundred million people. Several hundred million. How many did you date? 2, 3? Okay, maybe 20. So let's bring some perspective in. So point number 1. Your thoughts are distorted. Okay, now some of what I'm going to be sharing from you comes from what we know in psychology. Some of it also comes from the Bible because, like I said, this year I'm unapologetically going to talk about God, spirituality, the Bible, Jesus, because all of this, these components of faith have to go hand in hand in your dating relationship, dating experiences, not just what you hear off a pulpit once a week. Your walk with God, your relationship with the Creator who made you has to be every single day. And you need to bring him along when you go on dates, when you open your dating app, when you look at the text message on your phone, when you answer that phone call. Every single action needs to be God-breathed and God-inspired. Or else what? You still keep getting the results you've been getting. Okay? I'm speaking from experience, guys. I'm not blowing smoke up your behind. I'm speaking as somebody who has been some singles ministry events and pastors talking about stuff. And if you want to hear my previous talk with our single life ministry leader, Miss Christine Anglin, wonderful, beautiful soul. She talks about how ministers will speak on the pulpit about single life, but they never were single themselves. Many of them got married right after seminary or right in seminary. So they're like 2021. Can't even rent a rental car without the extra insurance yet, to show you how young they were. Okay? But what I'm getting at is your thoughts create your reality. Okay? The Bible says life and death are in the power of the tongue. Science is now catching up to that with the idea of neuroplasticity, or how when we have a habit and we create connections in our brain that create deeper and deeper grooves in the brain. When you look at how babies develop intelligence, when they do animal studies and they see how the connections happen and they go do MRI tests, functional MRI, so they're checking the brain in real time while they're doing activities, or even college students. I used to do a bunch of MRIs when I was in college for money. Okay. I went to Hopkins, the research university. And if you want to make money, you were a research subject. Okay. So I've had my fun share of MRIs. But your thoughts create your reality, even from this idea of perception, what you happen to see out there, what you believe you see out there. So if you believe there's P in the dating pool, if you believe guys aren't bleep or N ain't S, if you think all these women are B's and H's, then you're right. And that's what you're going to keep seeing. That's what you're going to keep getting. And your results are going to then end up with you continue to feel confirmation bias in the hypothesis that you put out, right? Now, the good news is you can change that. All right? You can change those thoughts to there are good women out there. There are good men out there. There are high quality caliber people out there that I am excited to go and meet. I am so eager to create a friendship with this man with the hopes of it developing into a relationship. And if not, I have a great friendship, or I've learned so much in this experience. I learned about myself, and I realized that we were not a good match. And I'm happy that I learned that. I am grateful for the breakups I went through. I am grateful for the heartbreak because they taught me things about myself. They taught me things about people in the world. I am grateful for the gift of forgiveness to unburden myself from past things. I am grateful for the love of God, the spiritual, the agape love that's unconditional and always flowing. It's never ending. And because he loves me, I can love myself. I can love again. Because my thoughts are different, I'm going to stop wearing the moo outfit when I go on dates. I'm going to get that sex. I am a beautiful woman, and they're going to know it. Okay? I am going to smile because I believe that my smile is beautiful. I'm going to walk into a room and command attention because I am somebody. I am worthy. You see how just changing some of your thoughts can change your perception and change your reality. Okay. When we apply for a job, we give ourselves pep talks, right? This is the same idea, but on a grander scale and a continual process. All right. A continual process of faith, of belief, of action. Okay. Because you believe that there's someone out there for you, you're going to get out of your house. Okay. He's not going to come in the Amazon box. This whole notion of, oh, I'm waiting for my Boaz. Ruth's behind was out in the field. Okay. She made herself available to be pursued. I need you guys to get that through your head. Stop sitting at home thinking he's going to show up at the door. Okay. And even if he did show up and he happened to be the UPS guy, you still got to put some clothes on and go outside. All right. Enough of that. But yeah, your thoughts can keep you single. And so there's this whole framework that's talked about in life coaching, and many life coaches are here too. But this idea of there are circumstances. So feel free to grab pen and paper. Or maybe we'll put it in the show notes. Who knows? Circumstances. And then it flows into thoughts. And then it flows into feelings, which then leads to actions and then results. Okay. This pathway is seen in different areas of life. Let's use health, since I happen to be a doctor. Circumstance. You weigh 240 pounds. Okay. Circumstances are neutral. Circumstances are neither good nor bad. You weigh 240 pounds. Your thought, dang, I weigh 240 pounds. I'm a fat ass. Damn. Now, you're feeling. You feel sad. You feel upset. Maybe some self-hatred, some self-disgust. Your action. Man, why even bother? Let me go eat some ice cream. Let me get some wings. Your results. You're now 245 pounds. And the cycle continues. Okay. That's a bit extreme. Okay. And not everybody who's 240 pounds thinks that way. Let's be clear. And then, of course, we didn't get into muscle composition and height and all of that, and waist circumference and all of that good science stuff. But the point I'm making is you have, now let's go back and use that same example and think about it differently. You weigh 240 pounds. And in this case, yes, you don't have much muscle composition. It's mostly fat and you're sedentary. Okay, that's circumstance. Cool. Thought, I weigh 240 pounds. And I feel it in my back and in my knees. And I feel tired and sluggish. Okay. Feeling or a thought is, you know what? I want to do something about it. I want to change this. So feeling of inspiration, of I can do this, of curiosity, of open-mindedness. Action, getting a dietitian, joining a fitness group, okay, using a meal tracker plan to track your protein and carbs and fat, joining a gym or getting some free weights at home, or even just resistance bands or just body weight. Great videos on YouTube, free videos to do workouts, okay? Shout out to Fitness Blender, no affiliation with them, but I remember using them years back, but plenty of free videos. So, action, you're working out. You change your meals. You replace sodas and juices with water. You're still loving TV, but you get up during the commercials and you do some movement. You put on some music. You have a dance party. Result, now you're 220. And you continue. Or you get medication and your result changes because you change your thought. All right. So with that, when we get into love and dating, we can acknowledge past hurts. We can acknowledge past humiliations. We can acknowledge past breakups, divorces, broken engagements. We can acknowledge all that, even personal violations, whether you've dealt with date rape, okay, or assault. But we can change our thoughts about how we're going to approach things in the future so that we get a different result, okay? So your thoughts can make, the same way I said at the beginning, your thoughts can make you single, your thoughts can bring you into a relationship, all right? And once you have, and here's the one thing I always want to stress, because the end line, the finish line, the goal is not just to, quote, get married. That's just the beginning. That's like you just, quote unquote, got the job. Now you got to work the job. Okay. Now you have to get promotions. Now you have to get mastery. You're connecting your life. Let's be very clear about the depth of what a relationship is, a loving, dating, a marriage or long-term partnership. When you connect with someone, you're tying your finances. I don't care if you have two different accounts and prenups. You're still tying your finances in some way. By associations, okay? Because your net worth is your net worth, all right? Look at some of the housewives who have partners who've ended up in jail, okay? You are tying your health when you're cooking meals together or you're deciding to work out and not work out together. If you decide to have children, how you're parenting those children, your faith walk, you're connecting so many things. It's deep. It's more than what you see on TV. Oh, they live happily ever after. Please let go of the romanticized views, okay? It's more than just sex, okay? It's so much more. So your thoughts, once you're in a relationship, also are just as important as preparing to be in one or to be open for one, okay? If you need help working on your thoughts, that's where life coaches come in. That's where coaches like me come in. All right. So if that's something you want to work on, we can definitely work on that. All right. We can point you to some resources, some books as well. Feel free to send me a message. hello@drjosie.com. And that's all I have for you today. Let me know what stood out for you in the comments. Let me know the one thought that has been irritating or getting in the way of your dating life. Let's be open. Let's be vulnerable. Share it in the comments. All right. Bye.